Today, a small booklet decides where you can go, where you must stop, and sometimes where you are not allowed to enter. But have you ever wondered who invented the passport and why? Let's travel back thousands of years to uncover the fascinating history of this powerful little book. The concept of a travel permit is far older than modern nations. Way back in ancient civilizations, like the Persian Empire, rulers would issue written permissions to their officials and messengers. These documents weren't about proving who you were. Instead, they were letters of protection, asking other regional leaders to grant safe passage through their lands. Imagine it, a simple piece of papyrus or clay tablet was your ticket to safety on a dangerous journey. These early documents were essentially requests from one powerful person to another, a guarantee to protect the bearer as they traveled through unfamiliar territories. They were less about identity and more about ensuring a diplomat or a messenger reached their destination without being robbed or attacked. It was the first step toward a standardized system of travel. Moving forward into the Middle Ages, long-distance travel was still incredibly risky and not something most people did. The world was a patchwork of feudal territories, and crossing from one lord's land to another could be perilous. To navigate this, kings and local rulers issued what were called safe conduct passes. These were given to important people like merchants carrying valuable goods, diplomats on sensitive missions, scholars seeking knowledge, and pilgrims on religious journeys. The term passport itself likely comes from the French phrase passer la porte, which means to pass through a gate or port. It has a very literal description of what these documents helped you do get through a city's fortified walls or a busy harbor. But just like their ancient predecessors, these medieval passes were all about protection, not nationality. They didn't say this person is from France. They said this person is under my protection. Do not harm them. By the 16th and 17th centuries, things started to change. This was the era of early modern Europe, where centralized states were becoming more powerful and wanted to exert more control over their borders. Countries like France led the way, issuing more formal travel documents that began to look a little more like what we recognize today. For the first time, these documents started to include personal details, the traveler's name, a physical description, things like height, hair color, eye color, and their place of origin. This was a significant shift. The document was no longer just a letter of protection. It was starting to become a form of identification. However, it's important to remember that passports were still not universally required. For most people, moving around within their own region or even across nearby borders was often unrestricted. These early passports were mainly for those undertaking long, international journeys. The real turning point, the moment that transformed travel forever, was World War I. Before the war, you could travel across most of Europe without a passport. But the conflict brought a new era of suspicion and fear. Governments became intensely worried about espionage, the movement of enemy agents, and illegal infiltration across their borders. Security became the #1 priority. By 1914, many nations made passports mandatory for all international travel. And to make them more secure, a crucial element was added: the photograph. This made it much harder for someone to use a passport that wasn't theirs. After the war, the need for a standardized system was obvious. In 1920, the newly formed League of Nations held a conference specifically to standardize passports. They agreed on a booklet format, its size, and the type of information it should contain, laying the groundwork for the modern passport we all know. After World War II, international travel began to boom, and the passport became a global requirement. As more people crossed borders, the need for better security grew. This kicked off a technological race to make passports harder to forge. Over the decades, new security features were added one by one. Watermarks were embedded into the paper. Special inks that change color or are visible only under UV light were used, and the photo page was laminated to prevent tampering. One of the biggest innovations was the machine-readable zone, those 2 lines of text and chevrons at the bottom of your photo page. This allowed for faster, automated processing at border control. Around this time, passport colors also began to take on symbolic meaning, often reflecting regional affiliations, like the burgundy red of European Union countries, or even political and cultural preferences. Today, we are firmly in the biometric and e-passport era. Most modern passports contain a small electronic chip, which is why you might see a little camera-like symbol on the cover. This chip is a tiny powerhouse of security. It stores your personal data, a digital copy of your photograph for facial recognition, and in many countries, your fingerprints. This technology makes it incredibly difficult for someone to create a fake passport or use a stolen one, drastically enhancing border security and reducing identity fraud. And the evolution isn't stopping. Some countries are now experimenting with fully digital travel credentials stored on your smartphone. The future of travel might not involve a physical booklet at all. But as you know, not all passports are created equal. They don't all offer the same level of global access. A passport's power is measured by the number of countries its holder can visit without needing to apply for a visa in advance. This is often called visa-free access. Typically, countries with strong diplomatic relationships, a stable political environment, and a robust economy tend to have the most powerful passports, granting their citizens the most freedom to travel. This passport power creates a global hierarchy of mobility, where your nationality directly impacts how easily you can explore the world. So, a passport is so much more than just a travel document. It's a symbol of your identity, a representation of your country's sovereignty, and for many, the key to freedom of movement. From simple handwritten letters of safe conduct to high-tech biometric chips, the evolution of the passport tells the story of how our world has become more connected, more complex, and more concerned with security. It's a reflection of our history. If you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more stories like this, and let me know in the comments, would you prefer to stick with a physical passport? Or are you ready for a digital one in the future? Thanks for watching.